So if you're running a business and you've got to deal with today's reality, you've got to be able to communicate in different ways. You've got to be able to collaborate in different ways, and you really need technology to help you to do that. And if you don't do that, you will end up gradually losing competitiveness in your business. So it's a slow and painful route to dissolution if you do nothing. So we can help in identifying new ways of doing things, in helping you, putting you in partnership with other people who can help you to introduce new ways of collaboration and so on. I think that there's also the risk that you're getting new types of businesses that are building up as a result of the environment. So for example, just at the moment we're seeing taxi firms are losing a lot of business to social network-based informal taxis. So somebody says, I'll drive you somewhere or whatever. They can undercut the taxi firms because they don't have to license, they don't have to go through any of the rigmarole of being a taxi firm, but they're able to operate in a business environment because Facebook or whoever allows them to do that. These are challenges that just weren't there a few years ago, and that's actually not necessarily COVID related, but of course the COVID situation has exacerbated it, made it worse. So yeah, you've got to deal with new challenges, and you've got to do what you used to do in different ways. Those are the sort of two things that you need to do. And yeah, GJC can help. We've got operational expertise, technology expertise, marketing expertise, and we can help you to navigate that quite difficult route. In the new world, there are new routes to market. So how you address your customer base and your future customer base, your exponential growth into your installed base, which is in front of you, not behind you, is different. Social media platforms are really extremely important, and in the professional area that could be something like LinkedIn. In the consumer area that could be Facebook. You could be looking at Twitter and Instagram and all those sorts of plans. And we see these days people making big money out of YouTube presences and so on, and being influencers and so on and so forth. So there's a whole new raft of business models out there, and if you're in one of those areas, you've got to not only succeed in reaching your customer base and bringing them to you, but you need to, there are still traditional things that you need to do, like you need to make money. You need to be able to conform with regulations and so on and so forth. And so therefore, if you want a sustainable business, yes, use these new channels and this, that and the other, but use them in a sort of responsible way that won't get you in trouble down the line because you've not paid any tax or something like that. It sounds sort of silly, and it would be a nice problem to have a big tax bill, but at the end of the day, a lot of many SMEs don't make it because the failure rate is enormous, and the more chaotic the environment they're launching themselves into, the more sort of rocky the rapids that you're trying to navigate, and the more are going to end up on the rocks. So you need to be aware of what it is that you can do, how to do it right, and to steer clear of the bear traps that are scattered around in the route. Technology doesn't grow at a linear rate, it's exponential. And what that means is that product life cycles get shorter and shorter and shorter. So if you have an idea, you've got to take it to market faster, you've got to achieve critical mass quicker. Ideally, if you're launching a new business, you need to be cheaper for Alphabet or Google to buy you rather than to replicate you, because if they can replicate you more easily, you'll find you haven't got a market tomorrow. So you've got to go fast. You can't enter a technology market slowly and gently. So that's really very important. I represent the Southwest region for GJC Associates, which is sort of pretty much anywhere from Bristol down to Penzance. I'd like to add that obviously the USA is southwest of Bristol, so I'll include that in my territory. You can cut that out if you like. But there's the Southwest has really punched below its weight in terms of its adoption of technology businesses, its startup rates and so on and so forth. There are initiatives, but they tend to be quite islands of initiatives. So, you know, Exeter is quite strong, Falmouth has quite a good enterprise capability and so on, and there are bits and pieces in Plymouth, you know, the Science Park and so on. These are all good organisations, but there's not enough regional support and promotion for the Southwest to achieve its full potential in the sort of high-tech industry area, where the high-tech industry adds, you know, higher value jobs. You know, there's a lot of bed and board and caring jobs in the Southwest and tourist type jobs in the Southwest, and these tend to be sort of low wage jobs, quite often seasonal in nature, and so, you know, the whole region suffers and yet it has some of the, you know, most beautiful scenery, some of the best property prices. You know, why wouldn't you locate your technology business in the Southwest? Because it's the best place to be. So what I'm hoping to achieve through my regional directorship is to encourage more companies to locate in that area and to help the companies that are in that area to achieve success, to sort of bring up the whole area. And that will involve working with all the sort of regional bodies, trying to coordinate and collaborate between them and build a more regional approach to providing support in recruiting associates with the appropriate skill sets and experience to be able to help these companies and to effectively move the needle on the level of technology business in the Southwest, so that it's at least punching its weight, and ideally punching above its weight, because from a geographic quality of life point of view, it should be, you know, it's like Silicon Valley. You know, it's warmer, it's a nicer place to be. Why wouldn't you want to be there, living and working and earning your living there?